Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this content, I hope you'll subscribe. So today we're going to talk about a whole week's worth of talking. It has been a very, very bad week. Okay, so we have a whole week's worth of stuff to catch up on. Last Tuesday, I was supposed to put out a video, and all of a sudden, I came down with an infection. It is I want to say it right, parotid gland, and it's just right here in front of your ear, and it has something to do with a little tiny hole in your cheek that releases saliva. Somehow I managed to get that thing infected, and so my face swelled up, my eyes swelled up, and I was feverish, and yeah, it was bad. So, needless to say, I did not put out a video that day, and I haven't put out a video since because the medication that they put me on made me so nauseous. Just moving made me just feel awful. And so I was like, I will just wait until I feel better. Well, today I feel a little bit better. A little bit. I have to say the first 3 days with fever was the hardest because, I didn't want to get out of bed. And then when I finally did get out of bed, my whole body ached from the fever, and it felt like I had been down with the flu, basically, is what it felt like. So, I'm back. I'm feeling better. My swelling has gone down considerably. I don't even think you can see it anymore. I can still feel it just a little tiny bit, but I still have another 4 days on the medication. So, fingers crossed, all goes well. And today I went and had a CAT scan done, so that I'm guessing they just want to check and make sure it's not cancer related. So, with my history. So, there you go. That's what I've been up to lately. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the breakdown of my last market. I was supposed to do a market on this last Saturday, but I canceled, of course. And she was completely understanding, which, thank goodness, that was amazing. Alright. It might help if I put my glasses on, right? Okay. So, the last market was the regular local first Saturday market. And it costed me $40 to get in. And it was from 9 to 4. And I was only expecting approximately $200. And I did better than that. Alright. Let's see. There it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and go with what sold. I sold a shark for $15. And then I sold another shark for $15. A washcloth for $8. Another washcloth for $8. A sea turtle for $15. A frog for $5. a planter, cactus planter, for $10, a black chicken for $15, a pink strawberry for $5, a duck for $8, a scrubby set for $10, large armadillo, brown, $30, one of my new owls, sold for $12, a white chicken for $15, a sea turtle for $15. I sold a baby blanket. I have had those in my booth probably, I don't know, 4 months now, and that's the first time I've sold a baby blanket. That was amazing. For $45. It was the yellow and green one. And then I sold a duck for $8, a land turtle for $30, a large shark for $20, another land turtle for $30. Turn the page. A large strawberry for $20, an easy cat for $12, and then another easy cat for $12, and then another easy cat for $12, and a sea turtle for $15, a baby chick for $8, a car for $10, another car for $10, a blueberry for $5. I put in my clearance bin the last 2 tacos, and I sold 1 taco for $5. A large armadillo gray for $30, a shark for $15, and a blueberry for $5, for a grand total of $483. That's a pretty good day. Pretty good day. So let's get down to the stats. I'm sorry, I gotta put my glasses back on. Alright. So, like I said, it costed me $40 to get into that event, and 248 of it was square, and 235 of it was cash. So it's pretty even. And I paid hubby $70. And so that gave me a grand total of $373. Still very nice payday. Sold 34 items. And of course, the top sellers were sharks and sea turtles, 3 of each. And I did not spend any money. And it was hot, cloudy, with a little bit of a breeze. So that made it tolerable. It was hot, but the breeze made it very tolerable, and it was cloudy. Every once in a while the sun would peek through, but it was actually a very gorgeous day. And of course the sales reflect that as well. It was a gorgeous day. All right, so that's that portion of it. That's the breakdown of what happened on my last market. And I gotta find me some table space here. And like I said, I did not go to the last one. I had to cancel. Just too sick to get out of bed. And but I did manage to get some things done. Not much. Not much. Before I got sick, I did get a few things done. And then I have gotten a few things done since then. Okay, so here is my new large shark. Um, I found a skein of Sweet Snuggles, or maybe it was Home Slim, I'm not sure, of this dark gray. So I figured I would use that up. And so I got 2 large sharks out of that. Well, actually, there's still some left over, but that's what I had left of it. So 2 large sharks, and I could tell I wasn't quite feeling very well at that time after those 2 sharks, but I did struggle through, and I got some more sharks of the smaller version done. And of course I ran out of the what is it, the baby bear, the light gray baby bear, and so I went online searching for some of that. We'll get to that in a minute. But so I switched over to the light blue and made some light blue sharks. Well, I don't usually have very much of a problem selling the light blue ones either. I guess in the light, in the daylight, in the sun, they still look a little grayish. So I got 4 sharks completed, 4 little ones, 2 big ones, 4 little ones. And by then I was really starting to feel the effects, but I pushed through and got a large strawberry. This is my 3rd one. The last 2, the first one I put in my booth, it sold. The second one I put in my booth, sold. That's the 3rd one. So we'll see if it's on a good trend or not. So of course I did sell one of the pink strawberries. So I figured I'd go ahead and replenish those because I was down to 1 pink strawberry. So after starting to feel better, I got those done. I got 4 pink strawberries done and 2 blueberries. And that was it. I was just full-blown sick by then. I couldn't even get out of bed. Alright. But there we go. More table space. And let's move on to while I was laid up in bed, hubby getting very frustrated at me because I had packages coming. And so he would go to the mailbox, which is about a mile away. He'd go to the mailbox and nothing there. Next day, go back. And he was really getting irritated with me. But I was getting a little irritated myself because my Hobie order somehow got delayed big time in New York. And it was 5 days late. Just the first portion. First portion was supposed to be here on the 9th, and the second portion was supposed to be here on the 10th. And I got the first portion on the 13th, I think. It was the 13th. And then I got the second portion today. So I had been making him run back and forth to the mailbox to see if it was there yet. You know, it's like, what's going on with my package? Anyway, so let's go ahead and see what I got from Hobie. So I got 5 of this, oh, it doesn't say, I forget. Hobie doesn't tell you. It's like a really, like a beige color. Just a beige color. And I have decided that with my sea turtles, I'm just going to do the base and the head and the fins all the same color, this color, because I made, what was it, 5 new sea turtles, and out of those 5 new sea turtles, I sold 3. So that, I believe, was a really good call on my part. I had been choosing, like, let's say a blue with a light blue, or a brown with a orange, or, I've been mixing the colors, a light pink with a dark pink shell, and they were starting to not sell. And so I switched it up, and it appears that that was a good idea. So I got 5 of those. And then I also picked up it's just a shade darker. Yeah, like an oatmeal color. And I can't remember why. I can't remember why I got this color, but I got it for a reason. There's always a reason, right? Just because I wanted it, right? There you go. And of course I picked up the green color. To me it's like a spring green color, or grassy green. And I picked that up for my frogs, because switching the color from a dark green to a light green has helped my frogs move. So I got that. And then of course I got some more of this gold for my giraffes. And that was it for the Hobie order, which took forever and in 2 packages. So I got online and I was trying to find some baby bear. I knew I was going to have to pay out of pocket for it, because it's no longer available in the stores anyway. So I did find some on eBay, and of course, yes, they wanted a slight markup because it's no longer available, right? They got a precious item. You really want it? You're going to pay for it. So I did. Unfortunately, now I hear that Michael's has their version of Baby Bear in stores already. Now, whether or not they have the light gray, I don't know. But anyway, I managed to pick up 2 skeins of the light gray Baby Bear, just so I won't run out of it for any time soon. And it was just a little bit extra. I think it was like $4 more than what you would have bought it in the store for at the time that they had it, which I haven't seen Baby Bear in a while, even locally at the store, before they closed, of course. But anyway, so I got that. So yeah, I was laid up in bed for days and days, nauseous, and I started feeling better. When was it? 3 days ago, I started to feel a little bit better. So I was like, what can I do that is nice and quick and repetitive and not a lot of thought needed? Because I was not in the thinking kind of mood. So I started something, and I don't know if you follow. Well, I don't use my Facebook page like I should, or my Instagram like I should, but I showed it to my friends on Facebook, on my regular Facebook page. Hair bows. They have the little clip in the back, but easy peasy hair bows. And of course it's using up my acrylic yarn, so I was like, that is just so cute. And of course, when I got through with that and I was like, oh, that's just so cute, I moved on to a new color. And so I just went color crazy and just kept going with these hair bows. And I just kind of went nuts. I even got 2 of them almost completed on the way home, on the way to and on the way home from my CT scan, just to make sure my brain is all still there and not covered in spots. I put on my Facebook, I was like, I'm going to go get my head checked by a cat. Anyway, yeah, I thought those were cute, and who knows? If they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. But it's not a whole lot of time invested. I think, well, I'm a slow crocheter, and I wasn't feeling that great, but it takes me approximately 1 hour from start to finish, and easy peasy. I just sewed the ends. I ran the band through the clasp and just sewed down the ends so it keeps it in place. Really cute. Easy. I think I have, I don't know, maybe $1 worth of materials invested plus an hour of my time. So I'm going to try to sell them at $10 a piece, and if that doesn't make them go, then I might go down to 8, but I wouldn't go any lower than 8 because of my time. But yeah, easy breezy. Loved it. I think this one came out a little bit bigger. It was my first one. I was testing to see if it was going to be good or not. But yeah, just slightly bigger. Just a little bit. But there you go. That is what I have been doing for the last 3 days, is slowly getting better and getting a little bit of inventory done. And of course adding a new product to my inventory. And I love adding new things to my inventory, but I've noticed that I'm starting to run out of space on my tables to add new inventory too. So I'm thinking, what can go? What can go in the clearance bin to give me a little extra room? But we'll work on that some other day. As of right now, I feel pretty good. Still a little queasy. Get up too fast or start moving around too quickly. Yeah, it just hits me. But only a couple more days and it should be over. Fingers crossed for that. Alright, well, we've gone over everything I have here. And my next market is this Saturday, and it's at the museum, and it's supposed to be a good one, so fingers crossed again. I like crossing my fingers, right? Anyway, well, if you made it this far, I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.